Hello, this week we are going to learn how to achieve goals using visualization. It's what I call strategic visualization for maximum impact. Thank you for joining me today. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Teresa Waleho, but my digital brand name is Triza Akuka. I'm an accredited coach and I am married. I have 2 children and I live in Nairobi, Kenya. So, from daily life to business, when it comes to awakening your true calling, success usually begins with a goal. And in order to achieve your goals, whether big or small, we know that goals will keep you headed in the right direction, on target to achieving your purpose. We talked that about in length last week. Unfortunately, for many of us, we remain stuck at the goal setting stage. We begin with good intentions, but then we can't seem to make it happen. Before we can believe in a goal that we have set for ourselves, we first need to have an idea of what that goal really looks like. You've heard of the term seeing is believing. This is where visualization comes in. It's a technique for creating a mental image of a future event. When we visualize that which we desire, we start to see the possibility of achieving it. It is through visualization that we can catch a glimpse of our desired, preferred future. When this happens, we find the motivation and we prepare ourselves to pursue our goals. So, how does visualization work? It's actually a very scientific process. According to research, visualization works because the neurons in our brains interpret the imagery as equivalent to real life action. So when we visualize an act, the brain generates an impulse that tells the neurons to perform that movement. This then creates a new neural pathway that helps to primes your whole body to act in a way that is consistent with what you have just imagined. All of this happens without actually any physical activity, yet it achieves a similar results. That's very powerful because you can visualize, let's say, increasing your performance, and your whole body, your whole mind, body, soul primes itself to actually getting that to come to pass. So there are different kinds of visualization. First, you can have an outcome visualization. This involves you envisioning yourself achieving your goals. To do this, you need to create a detailed mental image of your desired outcome. And then there's process visualization. So when it comes to process, it means you're breaking down every action that you need to take into bite-sized steps so that you can be able to accomplish the whole goal. You're not going to look at it globally, but you're going to look at it piecemeal until you are able to achieve what you've set out to do. So how can we go about visualizing? There are techniques of visualization and I'm going to talk about 3 of them. So the first one, we call it a treasure map technique. This involves a physical component as well as the obvious mental one. So the first thing that you need to do is to think of something that you'd like to achieve. You begin by drawing a physical representation of all the factors that are involved. For instance, if you want to earn well, or you want to score highly in an exam, you can draw a picture of yourself, a picture of the building of the school. You can draw a book to signify the subject that you want to study, and an award that you will earn after you have achieved success. So when you visualize that, the important thing is not the drawing itself. So don't worry if you don't have good drawing skills. It is the process of actually putting it down. It's what creates that mental image in your mind and primes your body and your whole being towards achieving that. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine last year about vision boards. This is how vision boards are done, by the way. It's a treasure map technique because in a vision board you actually put the physical pictures, you draw or you write what you actually want to see, and you put it up somewhere visible where you can be able to watch it. So I was talking to a friend last year who wanted to work on getting a latest model of BMW as a car, as a dream car. And she said, I'm going to put it down on my vision board. I'm going to put it out there. Once she put it, she said that immediately she would go to the road. She would actually see that model being driven along. It's not a very common car yet, but for her, it was the power of attraction that when she used to think about it, it wasn't so obvious. But once she put it down, she drew it and put it down physically, she started seeing it appearing everywhere. So visualization is very powerful. It's a very powerful process. The other technique is receptive visualization. This technique is like watching a movie in your mind, except that you get to control the scenes. So this is a more passive approach than the first one, but it's still effective. So you can lie down or you can sit, close your eyes. Closing your eyes is simply to give you focus so you're not distracted by what is passing around. Then try to picture the scene that you want to visualize very vividly. When you get a clear image of that scene in your head, you can add people, you can think of who else would be in that scene. What are they going to talk about? You bring it into life. You build that image until you get a complete, total visualization in your head and mind and feel yourself being involved in the action. This is actually something that coaches use a lot in our work. When you come as a client, we can ask you to visualize what does it mean being in a specific situation. And when you walk through that process, you'll actually be able to feel physically even the emotions. If it's anger, you can feel it building, or you can feel it dissipating if you wanted to release it, an emotion. It's a very vivid experience, but it can help you to visualize where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and it works. The last one is altered memory visualization. This is something that a lot of us will resonate with, especially if you had a past that you want to forget about. This technique focuses on changing memories from your past to a more favorable outcome. It's especially helpful for resolving memories that are involving bad feelings like resentment, anger, bitterness. In this case, you replay the scene in your mind. But now you start to replace those angry responses, that bitterness, that pain, that suffering, that anything that was pulling you down or making you stuck in a situation. You start to replace it with more controlled, calm images, positive images, happiness, peace. Do you know that after a while, your brain will only remember the scene that you have recreated, and the uncomfortable memories of the past event will begin to fade away? This is very powerful because I know many of us struggle, especially when we have gone through an uncomfortable, a painful situation. There's like if someone hurts you, you'll say you need to forgive and forget. But how do you actually forget? This is the technique for forgetting. You alter your mind to try and replace the bad memories with positive ones until you have no longer a hold or a block when you think about that previous bad experience. I know it's difficult to do it on your own, and that's why we are available as coaches. When you work with a coach, you are helped on a step-by-step process to be able to do this visualization actively, vividly, until you're able to attain it. And therefore, we ask you to reach out to us as coaches. Reach out to me in case you have a challenge in this particular area, and we can be able to work together. So, visualization on its own does not guarantee success because it's a part component. It's one key. You have to put in hard work. You have to put in diligent effort. For instance, let's say you're visualizing starting an import business. after you have visualized how you can get goods from China, bring them to the market, this will be your target market and you'll be able to sell to them. After that, you'll need to go down to the basics of contacting people you can import from, ordering the goods, bringing them to the market. As in, visualization is the first key. Then you need to follow it up with other efforts in order to achieve the positive behavioral change and actually go to the physical and create the life that you desire. So today we've learned about the impact of strategic visualization, and this is one of the keys that you have for your success. So I hope you're going to put it into practice, and after listening to this video, please hit the subscribe button, engage, leave for me a comment, and then follow me on all my other social media platforms. And thank you for watching.